Okay. All right, everybody. I got to talk pretty loud here and get pretty close because the mic on this camera really sucks. But I wanted to start doing more stuff um, regarding the book and saying what the book is about the different chapters, and then, sort of bringing everything together in a video about the first book, The Introduction of Self, and also do some poetry and stuff at other times. But I've have videos from before talking about different areas of the book and things that obviously concern me and I think about and are important to me, like relativity and perception and this idea um, that we live as beings almost entirely subconsciously because of evolution, and we're just not far enough along yet where we automatically use more of our conscious so that we see ourselves in a limited perspective. We see ourselves as these people who just survive and who are just doing what they have to do, and we just exist in this society without considering our humanity. We define our humanity by what we are in society, whatever society we happen to be in, instead of defining our humanity by what our humanity is, which is our mentality. So that's really what my first book is about, is connecting to that, something that took me 30 years to do. And, different things that I realized and I thought about that I connected to and recognized after seeing that big picture, that simple picture, but big picture, that I'm human. And my humanity was something I never really dealt with. But let me first talk about something that I have talked about before, but I didn't really do it justice, which is perspective, or perception, whatever you want to call it. The way we view things, everything that we see and the way that we see it, or what I say in the book, what you see and how you see it. So, in other words, right now my perception as a human being isn't just the camera in front of me, the image it's creating, and all the stuff in my little room that you guys can't see here. My perception is the things that I'm thinking about. My perception is the things that I'm not thinking about, but are in there, that are how I view things. In other words, I just changed the topic and I started thinking about politics. I already have a certain perception about that. If we started talking about cartoons, I have a certain perception about that. There are certain ones that I like. There are certain things that I like. There are certain things that I don't like. I have this 36-year-old conglomeration of a perception that is everything that I have perceived and perceive, whether it's my imagination, my thoughts, my memories, things I've actually seen, things I've been told that I've believed, whatever it is. It's all of those things and the way that I see them. So, like I said, I have a certain view. It's your view of everything. But a lot of times, as I insinuated from the first thing that I said, our perceptions are very limited. And I'm sorry I have to get so close to the camera so you can see my so you can perceive my imperfections in my face. But again, like I said, the mic blows chunks. But yeah, a lot of times our perceptions, in fact, our perception is always limited. Yet we subconsciously assume that what we see and how we see it, even though we don't think about it like that, we just assume that whatever we're thinking and seeing and buying into is what's there and that it's right. We never question or even say our perception is limited. We never even perceive that reality. We never perceive the reality that our perceptions are always limited. We can never, number one, we can never see everything. And even if we could see everything, we could never see it every possible way it could be seen. There's always such a huge amount of subjectivity to what we see, and there's so much relativity within subjectivity that even if you could see things objectively without any subjectivity, well, then you're missing out on all those possible subjective perceptions of what it could mean. So that's the first thing that I like to try to keep in mind for my own existence, is that no matter what I'm saying and I claim to know and I'm telling someone or believing at the time, I very well I am limited in my perception, and there could just be something that I haven't seen the right way or a certain way that would cause me to change my knowledge, that would cause me to say, I was wrong. So I used to be somebody who was really, really stubborn and, prideful and always wanted to be right, and out of fear would just, do that and assume that my perception was the way that it is. But to grow as a person, one of the greatest things you can do is, well, not burp, but it doesn't hurt because it's bad to have. Okay. One of the greatest things you can do is admit that your perception, whatever you are thinking, assuming, scared of, want, whatever it is, if right now you think this guy with the twangy voice is, whatever, just some chump and I don't have to listen to him and he's just a dork and I'm going over there and kick his ass, or whatever you prejudge or whatever you assume about me or anything else, realize that you are limited, that your perception has to be limited. To realize that opens up that possibility of questions and saying, okay, how is it limited and how else can I view it? If we cannot open ourselves up to honestly, truthfully perceive things in a different way than we're used to, then limiting your perception is limiting your humanity. It's limiting your existence. For all intents and purposes, this one existence that we know we have, you're limiting it. By limiting your perception, by limiting yourself to this idea that things are the way that they are, and there's no possibility that they're different. You're completely putting yourself in a box and preventing any broader horizon, any greater realization, which will lead to greater experiences and greater humanity and unleashing more of something that you can't even see. Because you've already made a presumption. You've already said, subconsciously, without saying, without doing anything, you've already just assumed this is what it is. Bye. This is what it is, period. So when I talk about perception, that's one of the things I am already thinking about, or already realizing, is that no matter what, mine and everybody else's is, number one, different, but it's also limited. There's nothing we can do to keep it from being limited, but one of the greatest things we can do is admit that it's limited and really say, I could be wrong.